You feel this nervousness on the phone there?
Sir, I've been trying to make an urgent phone call up there.
Well, I don't think it's something I want to do on an overseas phone.
You gotta make some phone calls. Hang up the phone. Prank caller. Prank caller.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to Packernet After Dark. This is the call-in show of the Packernet Podcast Network. If you'd like to call in, if you'd like to participate in the show, please feel free to do so. The phone number here is 608-501-0718. New callers go directly to the front of the line. Doesn't look like we have any new callers, so let's get started with, I think it's Nate. Nate, do I have this set up right? Nate, what's going on here?
Hey, it's Nate. All right, last call. I swear, last call for today. I just had to make a comment on the Quins on Jenkins thing. That's one of those moments that the second that I heard that he got arrested and he was like one of the second round picks who hadn't signed his contract, I just could not help but laugh because I'm like, man, I gotta think that you probably could have gotten a little bit more leeway in this legal situation if you had signed the contract.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how that works, but I feel like if he signed the contract, wouldn't he have the union behind him and the NFL behind him? But he didn't sign anything. So did he dick himself over? Did he ruin himself by not signing this contract? That would be extra funny. I know a lot of people probably feel bad for him when it comes to players doing dumb shit when they're about to make millions of dollars. I could not care less. If you are dumb enough to go do something like that, more power to you. Go enjoy your life, but you're not going to have the stability that you're going to have making millions of dollars playing a game. But yeah, you know what? Go do some illegal shit. That seems like it's definitely going to be more fun and more worth it than playing in the NFL and becoming, one of the richest people in the neighborhood that you live in. So, I don't know. Maybe that's another thing you gotta ask the HML about. But would it have been better if he had signed before? Would he have had more resources to fight this? Not that I'm sure the team still is going to give him something or some kind of help. I don't really know how that works. So, go Pack Go.
Well, yeah, I mean, he is, I believe, the only second-round pick now not signed, and he's in that window of fully guaranteed. So he would have been one of the guys that got a fully guaranteed contract. Right now, he has not signed a contract. And so I don't know what happens from here. One of the interesting things, I actually talk about it a little bit on tomorrow's podcast, the whole issue with the first-round pick in Cincinnati. Apparently, it's not as unprecedented as I thought, to where, at least on rookie contracts, if you do something like Judkins did, they will void the rest of your guarantees for the rest of the contract. So there's a chance, I don't know how Cleveland usually does these. Maybe if he had signed it, all this stuff would have gotten voided, but depending on how Cleveland would have given him his contract, it's possible he'd still have a ton of money in his back pocket. Maybe just that first year gets the guarantees get voided, whatever. I don't know. If you get cut, you probably still have a bunch of money in your pocket. Maybe not. Maybe with something like this, the teams are protected. I don't really know. But I am curious to see how this goes. I'm interested to see if Cleveland, who obviously does not have much of a problem with signing people with some legal issues, if maybe they, on one hand, negotiate this contract a little bit as far as pretty low guarantees, which you have a fantastic case for, because the amount is already figured out. It's just a matter of how much is guaranteed. At this point, you want much lower, either that or, I don't know. I don't know exactly what you do. The point is, though, in the meantime, while we're having this discussion, the point is we want this to kind of get swept under the rug. People forget about it, get the preseason going. And then, we'll have him sign his contract or release a press release about it at 2 o'clock in the morning. We'll wake up Ian Rappaport and tell him to tweet it out or something. But, yeah, that's pretty crazy, man.
Ryan, how the heck you doing? This is Nico.
Pretty good.
Just spending the day off. Well, I have a lot of days off nowadays, but I'm spending the day off. My oldest son is visiting us from another state with his wife.
Nice.
Today's his last day here, so I told him I will cook him anything he wants. He wants my world-famous smash taco burgers, so we're making some of those and some wings. So I'm just coming back from the store, and I was listening to your pod about what some former Packers said. Yeah. So I guess women in Green Bay are ugly. Jameis Winston and Brett Favre are equal, and what Devonte said. And, I mean, I know you know this, and you're just being nice. You're being facetious, or as I like to say, facetious. But, you know, there's a reason why many athletes excel to the level of the professional level. It's because they're gifted with a extreme physical ability, right? Unfortunately, that does not mean the same about their mental abilities. Their mental acuities, you might say, aren't to the level of, you know, what we like to call in the golf world par.
Some of these guys are obviously pretty smart, but as we've learned from a lot of these FS1 ESPN type shows, everything you're saying tracks.
They would be subpar. Now, in golf, it's good, but in brains, it's bad. Basically, they're stupid. Yeah. And I get it. Rasul Douglas, I mean, he was a Packer, and really the Packers made him what he was. Should have showed him a little more respect. And maybe not the team, but to the fan base. Because a lot of people still hold him in high regard. As you mentioned, people want that frickin', you know, broke wheel back. I don't want him back. He can go give up touchdowns somewhere else. Probably not even going to sign with the team, which shows you how good he is. And the other guy, I forget who it was, said, Favre's Winston? Okay, whatever. You just made yourself look like a subpar mental man. But as far as what Devonte said, why does that bother me so? You know why it does? Because I follow a lot of former Packers, social media stuff, and some of them I get rid of because, you know, my son's calling me. Sorry, buddy. Sometimes I get rid of them because they go off the, you know, rafters like Jamarcus Finley, you know. But I still follow Randall Cobb, even though he became a Cowboy. Yeah, sorry, I had to spit. But I don't hate Randall Cobb, but he's freaking 30 minutes. What the?
Part 2 with wherever this is going.
But I still like Randall Cobb. He's a good person, you know. I follow a lot of ex-Packers, even once the other teams, some that didn't. But the fact that he said he could be friends with Bears fans, okay, just going to say it, as far as I'm concerned, he is now dead to me. Dead. Boom. Gone, buried. Dust. Forgotten about. When I see Devonte, I'll just say, oh, that's that guy that played for the Raiders. Because you cannot. You can't cross that bridge. Oh, I'm nice to Bears fans. Y'all could be my friend. No. It's a bummer because, once again, Devonte, very physically gifted. He used to jump over people. Remember when he do that? Yeah. Wow, that guy can, like, literally jump out of the gym. Kind of stupid, though, because the Packers fan base would have taken it back. Now, maybe some will, because we all know that some fan people are also mentally challenged. But, stupid. I won't ever, because you can't make nice with Bears fans. You know what? Brian Urlacher. Remember what Brian Urlacher said when the Bears are getting rid of him? And someone asked, hey, you want to be a Packer? He said, I hate the frickin' Packers. I like Brian Urlacher more because of that. He just said, oh, I don't know, maybe I'll be a Packer. I would be like, you kind of tainted your entire career saying you're going to like the enemy. So sorry, Devonte. I hope you remain retired as a Ram or a Raider or whatever lame team you decide to trickle on over because they don't really want you anymore. Because, you know, now you're just a good guy, but you're really expensive good guy. There's a lot of really good cheap guys out there. Like, I don't know, second-year players. I'm worked up because that really, really hitting right in the core, right in the gullet, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to calm down. I even forgave Brett. Brett stabbed us all in the heart. I have a bunch of Brett Favre jerseys. I kept them all. And I'm like, I don't know. And then, years later, my heart softened. And I know that bad stuff has happened since, but I don't even care. I'm tired of bad stuff. You know what? I'm imperfect as well. I did bad things, so everybody cancel me. Just kidding. I don't know what he did. I don't care. Devonte, you are now dead to me. I've been rambling about this Devonte thing much more than my wife should ever know. So I'm going to go now and whip up some food and, what's Devonte? What? If I saw him, in public, you know what I would do? I would say, I don't know what I'd say nothing because I'm polite and nice, but sorry, Devonte, or Devonte, or whatever your dumb name is. You're dumb, and I hate you now. Go back good.
I want to agree with that, but I'm going to be completely selfish and say Packer fans that turn their back on the Packers, unacceptable. Bears fans that turn their back on the Bears, I'm very okay with that. I don't have a problem with Urlacher and continuing to hate the Packers or whatever. But Mike Ditka, for example, doing some commercials as a Packer fan, he's had a couple positive Packer things over the years. I kind of like that. I get what you're saying, and you're probably right. But it feels good to see the very few legends that they actually have. I kind of wish it was reversed, to be honest, considering how they treated Brian Urlacher on the way out. They don't really deserve Brian Urlacher. But I don't care. I'm going to go ahead and be biased like that.
Hey, what's going on? What's up, Mother Firefighter? How you doing?
What's up?
I was calling and I forgot. But it was somebody was talking about. Man, I forgot you because you call all the time. Good guy. You're talking about genetics in football, and it just question just made me pop in my head. So I said I asked just to fill in some time.
Uh-oh.
Let's say yours goes to the NFL, but he has to get drafted by NFC.
Ugh. Come on, Omar.
Playing good, and they win the Super Bowl. So I put all these parameters in it. He's going to be on a rival team. They're going to win the Super Bowl, and he's the starter and an integral part of it. What team would it be? I don't want to tell you mine because I don't want to influence. But I already know that it's not going to be the Bears. But out of the other two teams, the Lions or the Vikings, who would you want your son to win the Super Bowl with and be like the face of the franchise? All right, anyway, go Pack Go.
All right, well, fortunately, we were able to deduce what's going on here. So I'm guessing it's my son. He is drafted and is an integral part of a Super Bowl winning team that is either the Bears, Vikings, or Lions. And I got to pick which one. Can't be the Bears. Lions or Vikings. I just make sure I'm not missing any angles here. My immediate thought is Vikings. I don't hate them as much as a lot of Packer fans do. It would have been Lions not too long ago, but just in the last year or so, they've really annoyed me. The only very selfish thing, not that there's really any place that would be great, but selfishly, if I had to choose, like, either moving or living close to or visiting, I don't want to go to Minnesota. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to go to Detroit necessarily, but it's kind of heading in the correct direction. You know, we have to go south for a little ways, assuming we're driving there. I don't want to go up north in the winter. I don't want to be in Minnesota. It's Wisconsin without anything I like about Wisconsin. There's nothing redeeming about that. So, boy, oh boy. Although I don't want my kid living in Detroit, so it's got to be the Vikings. There's nothing good about any of this, and I don't know why you're making me do this, Omar, but I think it has to be the Vikings.
What's going on, Omar the Firefighter? How you doing?
What's up?
I should have put this part on my other call. I don't know why. Maybe because I didn't finish listening to the podcast. I don't know. But I also agree with you when you said that the Browns screwed it up by giving them, even though the Texans was the first one to do a fully guaranteed contract, this is their opportunity to be, like you said, be like, you got in trouble, that's why we're not doing a fully guaranteed contract.
Yeah.
We'll guarantee half of the contract. Here you go, sign it, pay for your lawyer fees, or do all this, or we're going to suspend you, whatever. You know, we'll give you a signing bonus of the games you're suspended, so make it look like you're not really being suspended, but you are, and we'll give you a half guaranteed contract. And then that way everybody can start signing, because if they do that and he signs it, everybody after him lose their leverage. So I know some people are going to keep fighting, but especially our pick at the bottom, they lose their leverage. So this would be smart for the Browns, but the bad part is I don't think the Browns is a smart organization. So I don't know if they will follow suit like they should. Maybe I wish they was run by the Bengals, because the Bengals don't want to pay nobody.
Yeah.
So that would have been awesome. You know what I'm saying? Would have easily got this signed and sealed and delivered. But anyway, just wanted to say, yes, I agree with you on that. Also, I will answer my question on if my son was drafted by NFC North team and helped him win a Super Bowl. I want to say Detroit, because, like, I like Barry Sanders. Like, I respect him. But I don't really like the city like that. So I think I'm leaning towards the Vikings more, that they help them win. Plus, they ain't got no damn Super Bowls anyway. It'd be cool if my son gave them their first Super Bowl. So anyway, all right, that's it. Go Pack, go.
Yeah, it's a good point with the first Super Bowl thing. Vikings fans, you know, again, as sad as it would be, would remember our son's legacy forever, because it's their first and probably only ever for all of eternity. All right, I took a extended break, so I don't remember if we took a break. I hope not, because we're about to take one. We'll be right back.
Hey Ryan, it's Nate. I was just listening to Packernet After Dark, and you guys were talking about some conspiracy theories. Just thought I would throw it out there, since I know you are Mr. Logical. You like you like to know the facts and everything. There's actually a really great episode of Adam Ruins Everything about conspiracy theories.
Okay.
Would recommend it if you want to go check it out. But what their show essentially boils down to is that most conspiracy theories are just not accurate, because and I think I've actually heard you like talk about similar problems, as like trying to keep that many people quiet,
right,
and to have them not say anything about these conspiracies is just impossible.
Right.
It's like somebody's gonna say something. Somebody's going to bring evidence forward and like make the claims. So some of them are just like, okay, there's no way you'd be able to keep that many people quiet about the moon landing, about, you know, the reptilians, what have you. You're not gonna do it. It's just not a thing. So I don't know, if you want to check it out. It's a pretty good episode. There you go.
No, I mean, that's one of the major. I mean, there's 1,000 things immediately that pop into my head that are wrong with most of these conspiracies, but that's always been probably the big. I mean, you think about the moon, how many thousands of people were involved in that? 9/11 is probably even a bigger one. Do you know how many thousands, tens of thousands of people are involved in this conspiracy in order for it to work? At the Pentagon, in the White House, at the airport, as well as the aviation administration and everything else. Probably the news media, the police departments, the fire departments. The other problem that occurred to me is this flawed belief that people at the time know better than people later. One of the things I see a lot with the 9/11 conspiracy theories is somebody on the ground saying things like, I heard these explosions, or I did all the, you know, and so it's like, well, that person on the ground at the time would know better than somebody, you know, however many years later, 25 years later. Do you know when we know the least and have the most inaccurate information is when something just happened? Every single time there is a shooter, what do you hear? Terrible information, usually They think there's multiple shooters. There's never multiple shooters. There's 6 different identities of this person. Usually politics are pushing in different directions, trying to pigeonhole the shooter into what they want it to be. But they have 6 different identities. They have killed between 0 and 700 people so far. Different people saw multiple gunmen. People saw different people. They've all got different descriptions. Anybody that's ever been a police officer or a detective or whatever, this is why you get multiple different stories, because different people hear different things, and it's not because they're lying. It's just that they don't have a lot of data. So what you do is you take a lot of different bad data and you put it all together, and it begins to put a picture together that is good data. But everybody loves going to, this one person said on the ground that they heard this. Isn't that crazy? No, it's not crazy. There's all kinds of terrible information out there. Oh, this one person in the JFK report said that they overheard someone say that so-and-so was involved in the JFK shooting. It's in the report. So what? How many different random people have different kinds of information doing inquiries? The government did massive amount of inquiries into the JFK situation after it happened. Of all the people they talked to, they heard all kinds of different things. The fact that one person said one thing because they either misunderstood, misheard, have ulterior motives, who cares what one random person said at the time? The best information is after the fact, when all the pieces have been put together. But of course, it's better when we can use these individual things because, again, conspiracy theorists, what they like to do is grab independent pieces, just go out and cherry pick every little bit of data that I can find. And the part where we put all the pieces together to try to figure out what's the best and most cohesive and coherent picture doesn't work for them. They like sifting through the 10,000 bits of information, finding the 40 that make it seem like they're right, stitching those 40 together and saying, okay, now you tell me what the picture looks like. Well, of course the picture looks like what you want it to look like now, you jag off. All right, I'm okay.
What's going on, good modified fighter? How y'all doing?
What's up?
Dang, I'm calling a lot the past 48 hours.
That's
my
all right.
bad. But anyway, I was listening to you and Kyle talk about aliens, something that I never thought I would hear on Packernet. It's very funny that like have opposite takes. So I got that, and then I got another old meme people were talking about, and I asked you to kind of tie in with football. I do believe in aliens only because I don't think we're the only creature in the whole universe that creates life. I think there got to be life somewhere else on another planet or something.
No, it doesn't have to
I do
be.
believe that. Also, I could have swore that they had the government even released some stuff on. When I say UFOs, it's not saying it's alien technology, but stuff that they couldn't determine what it was. So flying in the sky, they got documents.
Well, and by the way, that is one little thing that drives me nuts is when people do that thing where they will say, they're obviously pushing for the fact that there are aliens, and then when you push back on it, and they're like, oh, there was a UFO, and you push back. I'm not saying you necessarily, but then they always go to, well, UFO just means unidentified flying. Aaron Rodgers did this on the one show. He's like, it just means unidentified flying object. Doesn't necessarily mean it has to be aliens. Then who cares? You wouldn't be talking about it if it was just like, what was that? And we didn't assume it was something crazy. It's only interesting, and it's only something that you care about because you think it's something otherworldly. That's the only reason. So stop pretending that it's just, all I mean is, no, it's not. No, it's not. You think there's little green men flying around in spaceships, abducting people and probing them. Okay? That's what you believe. Now, I understand there's a much broader belief system. I would say probably the majority that believe that there's life somewhere out there, and that's mostly like a mathematical problem where when you look at this, that, or the other. I disagree with that based on the fact that I think people are doing math wrong. They look at it from the standpoint of how we got here being just kind of like a natural thing that would happen. It's rare, but it would happen. And so once every however many billion times this would happen, there's 60 kajibajibillabijibbillion out there, and so there must be, hundreds of thousands of millions of planets just like ours. I don't know the exact math, but it's something to that effect. I come from the standpoint of we are here and it's impossible. Run the numbers on that one. Get back to me when you get that. But at least I understand that argument because it's just math. But, you know, again, I'm starting from a different number than a lot of other people.
It's of that from our government saying that we don't know what these flying objects are. So, not saying, you know, it could be aliens, but just those two reasons alone, I think, yeah, you know, are they green? Do they look like daggone Independence Day? I have no clue. I'm just saying that I don't think we're the only creature in the whole universe. And if you think about how fast technology has advanced just the past 40 years, you know, so another creature on another planet could do the same thing, I would assume. So, anyway, off of that subject, I'm sure you remember, and everybody remember when they had the 100 people versus the gorilla who was winning the fight. So, to make a little football-related funny question, who would you pick? Pick five Packers of any decade or era to be part of your 100 men to fight the gorilla. Who would it be? Okay? I think that would be funny. And so I want you just to say what your five would be, and then I will call back and just drop my five, and then I won't call again with no craziness for a little. I'll give it a little break. Anyway, all right, go fact go.
Well, two people jumped out immediately to mind. One is Reggie, just an absolute freak of a human being, and we need as many freaks as we can get. I think I have to give the nod, whether it's correct or not, I don't know, but we have to give the nod, I think, to Mike Daniels. Dude was just had a reputation all through the years of being a quote-unquote soft team as being a guy that was just uniquely violent, loved violence. Also, you know, he might give us a little bit of a chance. He's a little bit shorter in stature, but he's built like a frickin' bullet, you know what I mean? He's shorter, but he's tough, he's strong. I bet he throws a mean frickin' right hook. Also, you get a bunch of big guys, and everybody just gets in everybody's way. You gotta be able to maneuver a little bit. After those two, we need three more. I mean, my mind goes back to the past now. I mean, I feel like we got to get Ray Nitschke in there. Again, just a violent psychopath. Man, I don't know. I'm gonna leave it at those three. I could. Let's do one more from today's team. Oh man, I might want to do Kenny. I know everybody talks a lot of crap, myself included, about Kenny these days, but I mean he's a size and strength and whatnot. He's pretty different. Oh, you know who it is. I'll tell you exactly who it is. Somebody we're not quite familiar with yet. It's Mr. Escalade, Anthony Belton. Big man. By the way, also, at least as far as I've done a million songs on this podcast, a lot of them have been popular, but as far as like the videos I made and put on social media, by far the favorite was the Anthony Belton song.
Yeah. This is for the big man, Anthony Belton. Green Bay's beast, Escalade in the flesh. Let's go, let's go. Hey, Escalade, hear the roar.
Such a good song. I like that song a lot. By the way, I don't know if you guys ever got to see, there's other versions of these songs that I end up discarding to ultimately pick the one that I want. This is a very, very good version that did not make the cut. That's just, I mean, I like that. All right. Ooh, Omar, part 2.
All right, what's going on? This is my answer to the question of 5 Packers players on my team 100 versus the Gorilla. All right, coming in at number 5, we got Caleb Jones.
Okay.
Our old offensive.
All right.
Wasn't that great as offensive tackle, but he was the tallest. He was 6'9", I think.
Beast.
So he's a real big guy, so that helps. Number 4, I'll have Kenny Clark.
Yep.
Prime Kenny Clark.
Yep.
Not the one we got now. The biggest.
I'm just going to say that right now we are simpatico. We both got Kenny. We both went for giant, massive offensive linemen currently.
Kenny Clark. I'll have Gilbert Brown at number 3.
I was thinking about him, dang it.
Number 2 is going to be a surprise, but I would have Nick Collins.
Okay.
Just for his speed and tackling ability. Maybe he can run up and do something.
Gotta have it.
Take the leg out or some crap. I don't know. And then number 1, last but not least, I'm showing is on everybody's list. Oh, you know what? I'm mad I forgot, but I'm not going to go back. Number 1 would be Reggie Wayne.
Whoa, what?
I said Reggie Wayne. Reggie White, I'm sorry. But not because he was the minister of defense. It's because he's a minister. And I have him pray that maybe the gorilla have a heart attack and we ain't got to fight the gorilla no more. That's literally what.
It's our only chance, really.
On the team, you know. So that would be my 5 that I would pick, and those reasons. I had some good people I left off the list, but I'm not going to go back to that, but I'm sure you probably have them on yours. So anyway, go Pack good.
That was good, man. That was good. All right, let's take our final break. We'll come back. We got beer, cheese, Benny.
Hey, Ryan, beer, cheese, Benny. Just want to let you know I'm okay. I'm not dead.
Okay.
I haven't called in a while. Life has been freaking crazy, man.
Oh, boy.
But I saw something today. Shamar Stewart, what a freaking clown. What an absolute clown. He decides that he just leaves the Bengals and says, I'm going back to college.
Everybody's really...
No, I don't know. 5th through 7th round pick. This dude was what, like a 2nd round pick? Come on, man. Is he stupid? He must be, like, brain dead. Because now, think about if he re-enters the NFL draft next year. His value is so low now. It's like, yeah, we don't want to deal with this guy. Like, from the get-go, I mean, I'm just so glad the Packers didn't draft him, let's be honest. Because there were so many freaking mock drafts that had him going to us, and I was like, please, no, don't. Because, one, I don't think he's very good in the first place, but, yeah, really, I just wanted to say that because I haven't called in a while, and I want to make sure you guys know that I'm okay, and I'm fine. Beershey Benny is alive and kicking and doing great. So, yeah, guys, go Pack, go. We are so much smarter than the dumb Bengals who we're going to beat. And hopefully I go there with my brother who's a Bengals fan, and then I can laugh in his face.
Yeah, I would be pretty shocked if he ends up going back to college. I don't really see it. I mean, I don't know how it ends up getting resolved between the Bengals and him. I mean, there's a chance that he could get traded, I guess, which I also think would be relatively unlikely. But I just, you kind of check out of college, I would assume. I can't imagine being like, all right, I guess I'm going back to college and playing football in college, and then I have to do the draft thing all over again. And you're ready. You're ready to be an NFL football player. You've already graduated. You've already said your goodbyes and hellos and all that kind of stuff. And it at some point, somebody needs to make that sales pitch to him and just be like, it's time to do this thing. But I don't know. I don't know who's gonna end up being the one to compromise on it, I guess. I don't know. I'm really not sure. Like I was saying, some of the stuff that I thought I knew about it, I'm not so sure if that's the case anymore. So I don't really know. Somewhere between the Bengals are idiots and this guy's an idiot. I'm not really sure where that is. But if I had to guess, this thing will end up getting done one way or another, and he'll end up playing in the NFL. I don't want to say for sure, but in the NFL, probably almost certainly the Bengals.
Hey Ryan, this is Aaron.
Yo.
It's been a minute. I hope everything's good. Anyways, training camp's coming up. Sweet. But that's not what I'm calling about right now.
Okay.
So what I'm calling about is I listen to this, I'm really into the paranormal, right?
Sure.
And aliens and stuff. And so I was listening to this one podcast. Admittedly, it is a paranormal comedy podcast.
Okay. It's a good fit.
I was listening to it right before the episode of Packernet After Dark where Kyle from Madison called in and talked about his experience that when he was in college and talking about his whatever he talked about with the conspiracies. Anyways, so ironically, right before that episode that Kyle from Medicine talked about that, the episode that I was listening to about from this paranormal, it's called This Paranormal Life, this comedy paranormal podcast, was about this guy from Eagle River, Wisconsin, who essentially thought he saw an alien because he randomly saw these guys one day outside his house and their car looked a little bit strange, and they handed him what he thought were pancakes, so he ate them, and he said they were really bad pancakes. But apparently they just looked like Italian guys. So I'm not sure exactly if it's aliens or not. Maybe it's just Italian guys.
Could just be Italian guys.
But anyway, so the case got investigated by this guy named J. Allen Hynek, who was kind of the chief ufologist back in the day.
Ufologist.
Like when UFOs were kind of thing, he coined the phrase UFO or unidentified flying object. So I don't know. It just seemed weird that I was listening to a episode of a paranormal podcast about aliens in Wisconsin, more Italian guys in Wisconsin probably, right before Kyle Madison.
Probably.
I keep saying that. Kyle from Madison shared his experience. Anyways, kind of Packer-related content before I hit the 3-minute mark. So it's been a few years since I went to a Packers game, but I just got tickets at the 12th row on the 40-yard line for the Bengals game against Lambeau, oh my gosh, I cannot talk today. Bengals game against the Packers at Lambeau, and I am freaking pumped. And so yeah, I am gonna try to talk as much trash to Joe Burrow as I can, because they'll be right in front of me. Anyways, I'm probably coming up on 3 minutes right now, but
sitting here waiting for you to finish that as though I didn't just hear you say you're about to hit the 3 minutes. Well, that's the thing about alien encounters is that there's always twists and turns. I really thought you were just going to be like, oh, it's so crazy. I heard him talking about this specific encounter that he had, and wouldn't you know it, that's the exact encounter that the people in this show had. Nope. Instead, we got aliens dressed up as Italians coming into, I don't know, my mind went to Men in Black right away, so I started rewatching that movie in my head. So I'm going to be honest, I missed a little bit of what you were talking about, but it was an enjoyable few minutes up in my brain, kind of trying to parse that one out. But yeah, man, I mean, maybe aliens, maybe Italians are just aliens. What do we really know about Italians? You know what I mean? I don't know much about Italians. And look, I don't know if it was in this, it's actually in tomorrow's podcast, but one thing you will hear me say is that I had a dream that I was dating James Gandolfini's daughter. Maybe it's an alien conspiracy. How did that come up, you might ask? It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. It's just one of those things. But yeah, that was a thing. And now that you mentioned that Italians are aliens or aliens are Italian, whichever direction that goes, it's starting to come together. You know what I mean? The picture is becoming clearer, I think. So appreciate that insight. Oh, this alien stuff it's pretty high quality, that's for sure.
Hey Ryan, it's Aaron again.
What's up?
So I just wanted to call and say Happy National Hot Dog Day.
Thank you.
Which reminded me that last year was kind of weird because you know how Joey Chestnut wasn't in the hot dog eating contest because there was
He's back.
some contract dispute between him and his vegetarian dogs that
biggest
sponsor or whatever,
travesty
so the
ever.
Nation's hot dog eating contest dropped him. And do you know how weird it felt that the winner had less than 60 hot dogs? 58 hot dogs in 10 minutes. I mean, that's impressive. But Joey Chestnut comes back and has 74 this year. Man, it's not a hot dog eating contest without Joey Chestnut.
Correct.
That felt un-American last year, so it kind of felt better a little bit this year on the 4th of July. Anyways, so this collusion talk. Okay. So everyone's complaining about how the league is colluding against the second round picks or whatever. I don't know what's going on with it, but if there's this big of standouts and holdouts between all the second round picks and their teams, wouldn't that also mean that there's collusion between the agents?
Yes.
Because it seems to me that the league is just going off what it has done for years, except for the two teams, which the Browns apparently also had another second round pick, so they kind of screwed themselves over in that regard too. But this whole new thing is because of the agents and then a couple teams. That's where, in my eyes, the collusion lies. Is that I don't know. It's just a big weird off-season story. It'll go away once all the second-round picks eventually do get signed, and we'll just have to see who kind of ducks first. But I don't know. It's just a wild time. I'm just excited for training camp. It's going to be fun. I wish I could go this year to camp, but I can't. But it'll be fun to see where everything goes. I don't know what kind of position battle I'm looking forward to the most. I think it's just everybody, to be honest. Because this team has so much excitement to it that it really feels like anybody can take a step at any time, and hopefully that comes as a big broad group, whereas where several groups just get better because of the competition in camp. I'm excited for the corners, to be honest, because it's just a new-ish room.
3 minutes got him. The collusion thing, there are certain words that people say that just by saying it, they think that they've won the argument. There was collusion. So what? Well, they were colluding. Yeah. And? Well, you can't just be colluding and stuff. That's colluding. There's certain words that people say, I don't care. I've said before, hypocrite. You're a hypocrite. That's hypocrisy. So what? So what? What's wrong with that? I made a lot of mistakes in my youth. I'm going to tell my kids to not make those mistakes. The fact that I did make those mistakes, while telling my kids they should not, is hypocritical. There's nothing wrong with me doing it. My alcoholic parents told me not to drink when I was a kid. That's hypocrisy. It was the right thing for them to do. Whataboutism. Well, that's just whataboutism. Yeah, it is. It's also a really good question that I'd like you to answer. Why do you think? Well, that's what about it. The fact that you know the term whataboutism means I have to stop asking you a very legitimate question? I don't care. Yes, that's correct. That is the term for it. Now answer the question. Why do you criticize the Packers for things that you don't criticize the Bears for? What about when the Bears do it? Oh, it's whataboutism. Yeah. Anyways, would you like to answer it now? Stupid. Yeah, people say collusion, and it's just oh, this evil, they're so evil. What did they do? They colluded. Okay, what did they do? Well, a couple of them talked and were like, hey, man, if people start giving out fully guaranteed contracts, that's really going to screw us over. And we were like, yeah, bro. And then we talked to each other and we're like, that would be kind of bad, so let's not do that. Wow. That's crazy. It is collusion. It's also exactly what I would do in that situation because I don't want other people to screw me over. Speaking of, This is only loosely related, but it's very much in line with what I'm talking about. Can anyone explain to me why insider trading is illegal? I have no idea why that's illegal. I really don't. I understand why maybe, politicians shouldn't, but that's a different thing. That's not the insider trading portion of it. It's a conflict of interest. Why is that illegal? Somebody comes to me and they're like, "Hey, we're going out of business." Like, what? Like, yeah, dude, we're going out of business. But you're a multi-trillion-dollar organization. Yep, I am. And I've invested millions into your company. Yeah, that's going to zero. But since I told you if you pull your money out, you go to prison. So, what are you going to do? What are you talking about? I'm taking my money out. Why would I go to prison for that? It doesn't make any sense. Treating the stock market like it's the casino. It's cheating to be good at it. Excuse me? You're not supposed to actually win. That's unfair. It has to be fair. Well, it doesn't have to be fair. I just heard that this company is going to acquire this company, and so their stock is going to skyrocket. And if I put money in there, I'm going to be massively rich. I did nothing wrong to acquire that information. Why would I not be able to buy that? Why? Anyone? I'm waiting. That's what I thought. These are the thoughts that roll around in my head. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. We still got a good amount of calls here. We're getting a little bit caught up thanks to, getting back to doing this and whatnot. Do have, obviously, training camp tomorrow. We got Brian Gutekunst going to the mic. We got Matt LaFleur going to the mic. We got the training camp practice, which is open to the media, followed by the open locker room for media to talk to the players. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so excited. It's the greatest of all the things. This is it. We made it. We're back. Ayatollah, rock and rolla. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Escalade on the line, blocking sun with my frame. 6'6", 336 defenders learn my name. Green and gold on my chest, power pressed in my veins. Escalade on the line, making rushers feel the strain. Escalade on the line, blocking sun with my frame. 6'6", 336 defenders learn my name. Green and gold on my chest, power pressed in my veins. Escalade on the line, making rushers feel the strain. I step up in the trench, they feel the earth shake. Length and strength combined, no one here safe. Pancake spree, ground zero, cooking fools in the lane. Inside zone wizardry, breaking ankles like a game. Anchor set, hands laser, hold the point like a lord. Long arms stretching wide, turn your rush into a board. Massive size, clean stride, I goes past every snap. Packers found a wrecking ball, no looking back. Pressure meet resistance, I'm a blockade deluxe. Rushes meet the wall, brains fried like bad luck. Footwork slick on counters, balance tight like a queen. Power drive, edge dive, oscillate inside the scene. Second round, locomotive steam rolling through the fight. Tougher than your nightmares, steel giant in the night. Escalating full tilt, no retreat, no escape. Green and gold fortress, stand aside, feel my way. Escalade on the line, blocking sun with my frame. 6'6", 336 defenders learn my name. Green and gold on my chest, power pressed in my veins. Escalade on the line, making rushers feel the strain. Escalade on the line, blocking sun with my frame. 6'6", 336 defenders learn my name. Green and gold on my chest, power pressed in my veins. Escalade on the line.